All right, welcome back to another Daily Goat video. I'm Peter Alice from Palmer and Peter's Picks and the Bo Sox Bombers. And again, we're gonna have to give Nathan Gagney some commission because he's always on it.
Oh
And
yeah,
another guest, David Babb. He's a little regular too. Little take
So,
that reunion. Rip Curse for also though. How's it going, guys?
going
doing
good.
good.
Yeah, baseball season is soon approaching. Very hyped for it. The 60 game season last year was a big tease, but
Yeah, it felt like last season didn't even exist. I mean, as a Red Sox
Yeah.
fan, it obviously was just a dreadful season, but it just really felt like a fake season. I miss opening day. That first Thursday in April is always, or even sometimes in that last Thursday in March. But it's always a great day. There's baseball games all day, so it's good that baseball's back full season again. So let's get into it.
and it's weird because I was looking up before this. They still don't have a playoff prediction, like a playoff format set, which is a little weird.
Yeah, that's definitely a little weird.
You
And
guys, did
you
you guys
continue?
like the two wild card format? Was it two
I
wild
did.
cards this year?
It
Yeah,
was like 7 teams or whatever.
Yeah, I even
Yeah.
forget.
I mean, I like it for Sox fans because
Yeah, I
they
do too.
actually probably make it, but
Yeah, from that perspective, it's good, but I also feel like it's kind of rewards like the mediocre teams because like if you can even sell at the deadline, you can kind of sneak into that last spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a premium on kind of loading up and going for the division. So I mean, it was fine for 1 year, but I probably lean to not to get rid of it because I mean, it's not like you lose a wild card game. That game's always electric. So
that's true. All right, so we'll go by every team for the win total, and you'll give an over under, and then at the end we'll do division winners, and then at the end we'll do AL winner, NL winner, and World Series winner. So we'll start off with the NL East. So this is all from DraftKings. Their win total is 91.5. So we'll start with Dave. What do you think?
Oh, you forgot to mention that this is the Braves.
yeah, Team DraftKings.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, this is the Braves.
I have the
favorite team.
Braves. I have the Braves going over. They are my second favorite team, housing my favorite player. But I think they're definitely going over.
Who's that? Ender Inciarte.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I had the Braves going over the 91.5. This was like kind of a tough one. I mainly picked over because of what they've done in the past. They've been pretty consistently good the last couple of years. Their pitching, it depends. I mean, if Soroka comes back strong after his injury last year, but I mean, I don't know. I go over just because basically of what they did in the last couple of years. The NL East is a wild division. So, I mean, I could see them win the division even if they go under the 91.5. But Peter, I don't know what you think. I think you might think differently than us.
Yeah, Dave, don't kill me, but I think they're gonna go under. I think 91.5 in that division is a really high number since the Mets got better, and you still have the Nationals and Phillies still working around, and the Nationals have good talent, and the Phillies, but I think it's just a high number.
Yeah, I don't completely disagree with you. It's like weird. Like with the shortened season last season, I'm like thrown off. I kind of forget like how many wins is 92 wins. Like is that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They won 35 games last year.
Yeah, like I'm kind of thrown off. But yeah, it doesn't. It's a weird number. I guess it's a good number by Vegas. So
To that point, didn't Acuna miss like 35 games last year?
he struggled a little bit. I'm not sure if he definitely missed time, but I know he didn't have like number one overall pick in fantasy
Yeah.
that great of a season.
All right, so the next team is the Mets at 90.5 wins. So Dave, what do you think?
I have them going under. I think they're a good team, but I think the Mets are still gonna Mets.
I agree. I mean, I really like what they did. I mean, Lindor. It still felt like I'm not a big JBJ fan, obviously, but it felt like there was a lot of talk of them like getting these big free agents. I mean, they were close with Bauer. They had that good interview on Starting Nine with Trevor Bauer's agent. He was very close to going to the Mets, but I just feel like they kind of like. I like the Trevor May addition, Taiwan Walker. If they get Syndergaard back, though, their rotation will be loaded. But I just felt like there was a little. They left a little bit out there in free agency, but I mean, 90 and a half is a lot, and like you said, the Mets are gonna Met. So I
Mhm.
think they could have like. I think they'll have a good season. I think it'll be above 500, but just 91 wins would be. It's too much.
Yeah, and like Dave said, Mets are always gonna Met. They have to show me first they can all stay healthy, which I don't think they're gonna do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy in this next week to see if they ankle endured to that extension because I think they said that they're gonna cut off talks once the season starts. So
Mhm.
be interested. I mean, they have to pay up now that they got him, and with Steve
Yeah.
Cohen, so it's only a matter of time.
Granted, they didn't give up much to get him compared to like what the Dodgers gave up for Mookie and whatnot, but
Yeah, they gave
still
up.
got to ink him to that extension.
They gave up nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So the next team is the Washington Nationals at 84.5 wins.
I have them going over. Like you said, they're just too talented to be held down for too long.
Yeah, this is my sleeper team. I mean, I'll get into more of the Red Sox later, but they're kind of like they feel to me like the Red Sox, where they won very loosely, but they won the world two of the last three World Series. They kind of struggled the year after they won, but they still have a ton of talent. Even though they lost Rendon a year and a half ago, they still have a lot of talent in this team. They got Josh Bell to play first base. Um, that Carter Kieboom or
Mhm.
Kai Boom, he's gonna play third. If he's one of the top prospects, so if he can kind of make that jump, he might be able to at least kind of chip away what Rendon did. Schwarber and left's gonna be that could be a disaster, or he can hit bombs into to Baltimore. But then in the rotation, if Strasburg's healthy, I mean Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin, and then Lester is your fourth starter. Brad Hand is your closer. This is my sleeper team. I'm going over 84.5. I think they're gonna. I think they might win the division, but we'll see in a little bit.
Yeah, I agree too. Like you said, they have way too much talent, and 84.5 is way too low.
And I feel like Juan Soto's. I mean, he's like known as like one of the best players in the league, but I feel like he's not like he should be known even more. Like he is maybe a top three player in the league.
Yeah. So the next team is the Philadelphia Phillies at 80.5 wins.
So I kind of teeter-tottered with the Phillies. I ultimately ended up going with the under. I just feel like they're going to be sellers at the deadline, even though they brought in Dombrowski. I just feel like the owner doesn't want to pay money, and I just don't think they have enough to get over that hump.
This team's bad. I'm going under too. I think. I mean, their bullpen imploded last year, and I don't think Archie Bradley, Brandon Kinsler, and Tony Watson are really the fix. Their rotation, I'm looking at Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Zach Eflin, Matt Moore, Chase Anderson. That's bad. That is not good. I mean, I like that lineup with Real Muto and Hot. I mean, if Hoskins, he's been struggling though. So,
Mm-hmm.
80 and a half, that's in a tough division. I think they're going under. I think this is going to be the last place team in the division.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said the slight over because I think 80.5 is a little too low. But I get like the pitching concerns because they only have Aaron Nola and that's it.
Yeah.
But I like their lineup. Yeah, how do you forget about Bryce Harper?
I love Bryce Harper.
I just feel like he doesn't push the needle enough.
Yeah.
He's like fun and showy, and I used to like him more than Mike Trout, but that was also because I didn't really know the magnitude of Mike Trout. I just don't think he moves that needle.
Alec Baum's going to be a sleeper this year. Came up last year high. I think he was like maybe a top second overall pick a couple years ago, but he looked good. But yeah, I mean, I don't love this team at all. Didn't it seem like a couple years ago they were kind of loaded with pitching? Like what happened?
I don't know. Well, what do you mean? Like Cole Hamels, like that far back?
No, but like Pavetta, Vince Velasquez. I feel like I'm thinking of somebody else, but like, I feel like there's others. I don't know. I look at this rotate. I always thought that they had like the Eflin, Pavetta. I feel like they always had like two of those guys that were like in AAA or just missed the cut of the rotation. And Now they have Matt Moore and Chase Anderson in the back end. I don't know. I felt like it kind of disappeared quick.
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely a fall from grace.
Yeah, that's true. So and then the fifth team, the Miami Marlins at 71.5 wins. Nate, you can start since you think they're gonna
Yeah.
be fourth.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be the. I don't think. I mean, they kind of went like a inexplainable run last year. I mean, they were ravished with COVID. They snuck into the playoffs, swept the Cubs, and I'm not just saying it based on that. I think that this team's actually like sneaky good. The rotation with Alcantara and Sixto Sanchez is nasty. He was the top prospect in that deal for Real Muto. But the only thing that concerns me is probably their bullpen. Not great. Anthony Bass is your closer. I mean, they made a couple nice additions with Curtis from the Rays, Floro from the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, I mean, the outfield is it's like 2/3 is Pirates, but Corey Dickerson, Marte, and Duvall. I mean, those are some good veterans. So I like this team to go over the 71.5. I mean, that's a low total.
Yeah, I could definitely see them going over too. I just think that they're a year away from being like what they could be. So
Yeah.
maybe next year I think they could do very well, but this year I just don't think they got it.
Yeah, I agree too. I think they're gonna go under just because of the talent at the top with the Mets, Braves, and Nationals. I don't think everybody's gonna hit the over, you know.
Yeah, that's probably the toughest division to handicap wins. So
Yeah.
So the odds for the division is the Braves at plus 120, the Mets at plus 140, the Nationals at plus 600, the Phillies at plus 875, and the Marlins at 2,500. Dave, who do you got for the NL East
I
winners?
think you all know who I got.
Yeah, the
The
Marlins.
Atlanta Braves.
I got the Nationals. I think plus 600 is good value.
That's yeah. And I have the Mets at plus 140.
Wow.
So we're all over the place.
All different teams.
So you have the league or the division leader having not very many wins.
They can get like 89 wins.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that would be a pretty even division.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Braves, Mets, and Nationals are going to be like neck and neck the whole year.
Yeah, I mean that's how that division has played out in recent years.
Yeah.
All neck and neck.
All right, now we'll go to the NL Central. So the St. Louis Cardinals have a win total of 86.5.
This was a tough one. I went under. I ultimately went under only because I think their pitching staff is a bunch of injuries right now. So I think they're going to start slow out of the gate. It's a weird division. It's not as tough as it was last year, but I mean, it's pretty competitive with the top 4 teams. So, I mean, obviously I like the Arenado edition. They gave up nothing. I mean, they literally got paid like millions of dollars to take on a Gold Glover.
Like $50 million.
Yeah, which is wild. But I mean, Jordan Hicks is back as their closer. He throws like 150 miles an hour. So that would be interesting. I just go under. I think this team's good, but not. I think they're a little overrated based on the Arenado edition. I think people are kind of overrating them a little bit. So I'll go. I think 80. If it's 86.5, I think they'll be like 86, 85. Like not far under, but under.
Yeah, I have them going over. I just think that the talent discrepancy between like the bottom of the division is just too much, where they're just gonna steamroll like the Cubs and the Pirates and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Because 86.5 wins is a low number, especially at the top.
That is low. Like, why isn't I don't know. If they think the Cardinals are the best team in the division, why wouldn't it be more like the Braves at 91 now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like based on that, I feel like I should go over actually.
Especially when
Just put myself in a pretzel.
Yeah, especially when the next team, the Brewers, and then the Reds are even tied at 82.5 wins apiece, you know?
Yeah, shouldn't they get 19 wins or whatever it is off the Pirates alone?
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, your Pirates are pretty
Not my
terrible.
Pirates, not anymore at least.
So yeah, the Brewers are 82.5 wins.
Dave, go ahead.
I have the over. Christian Yelich Jackie Bradley Jr., Low Kane, even though he's a little bit past his prime. Brought back Travis Shaw, who could be thrilling off the bench, even if he starts at third. I think they got a real good team.
I think this is an over sweep for the three of us. Yeah, I mean, 82.5 is just way too low. I think
Exactly.
I mean, like I said, I don't love JBJ, but JBJ, Lil Kane, and Yelich in the outfield is pretty nasty. The infield has a lot of question marks. The Luis Urias or Urias, they got him for Pomeranz, I believe. Is it
Mhm.
Pomeranz or
I think so.
Grisham? Maybe it was. No,
It
it was
was
Grisham. Grisham,
Yeah, it was a trade with
San Diego.
Padres.
Yeah, so if he could take a jump, I mean, Travis Shaw at third, but Colton Wong was a sneaky good addition, sneaky good. And then Hira's gonna move over to first, but that bullpen with Hader and Rookie of the Year Devin Williams is pretty loaded. And let's see if Corbin Burns can continue to have a good season like he did last year. And I don't know, maybe if they're in it late, I think they should make a move for a starter at the deadline. But I think this team's pretty good, better than 82.5. I think they're above 500 team.
Yeah, I agree too, because 82.5 is way too low, especially for a second place team. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Mhm.
And Yelich is going to rebound. He's not going to be as bad as he was last year. That was
Yeah.
fluke. There's a couple people like that. Another
Was-
guy who's in first initials are JD, who had a bad COVID season, but are going to rebound.
Yeah, the Cincinnati Reds are also tied with them at 82.5 wins.
I don't get that.
This is another sweep. I think they're just not good enough to get 82.5 under.
Yeah, they didn't sign much of anybody. They lost Trevor Bauer, obviously. Like
Did
I
they,
don't.
did they lose like another pitcher? Because I thought their rotation was pretty.
Do they still have
stacked.
Castillo?
Yeah, but I thought they were like, I don't know. I thought did they lose somebody else though? Because this rotation's not good.
Well, it's sad because right when Bauer like got free agency, they were like, "Yeah, we can't sign you. You're too much money." Like, how do you even like do that?
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be a big market
Yeah, I know.
fan over here. I just see they have Noe Ramirez in the bullpen. That's under alone on its own.
No, we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Case in point. But yeah, this team, I think they're actually they're probably like kind of like the Red Sox where they'll score runs, but their bullpen will just stink. But I mean, I like that Jonathan India. If he's gonna be playing, that's actually very intriguing because he's a high prospect.
Mhm.
I like Moustakas, Suarez. Let's see if he can rebound. And then I like Nick Senzel in center. High prospect, hasn't lived up to the hype, but hopefully he gets like a everyday job and can kind of get comfortable out there.
Yeah, I agree. So the Cubs are 78.5 wins. Not what you're usually accustomed to with the Cubs. They're definitely in a rebuilding year, I guess.
I'll go first. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm over. I'm over. I think their rotation is hurting a little bit. Yu Darvish obviously gone, Lester gone, but they got Jake Arrieta back, so let's see if he can flash it back to 2015, 2016. Zach Davies, they got back on the Yu Darvish deal. I think he's going to be a nice little addition. Trevor Williams from former Pirate, they got him for dirt cheap. Their bullpen, I mean, Brandon Workman and Craig Kimbrell, oof, that's not good. But yeah, I don't think they lost too much on offense. I mean, Jock Peterson basically swapped him for Schwarber. Basically, I mean, Jock Peterson might be a little bit more of a better professional hitter, I guess you could say. But I like Ian Happ, Chris Bryant contract year. That's very important. And then like Javi Baez isn't going to have as bad of a season as he did last year. And Javi Baez and Chris Bryant both stunk last year, and they won the division like pretty handily. So I mean, even if they're 80 wins, it's under 500. I think it's going over the 78.5.
Yeah, I was on the fence about this one too. I thought that they could very easily go 500, but I just went with the under just because I'm not sure if they will play up to where they not really play up to where they did last year, but like win the games that they won last year. Because a lot of them were like close games where you really didn't like expect them to win those.
Yeah, that's why I picked the under too. I don't really like that David Ross signing either. Do you like David Ross as a manager?
He's fine last year.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
don't have a huge problem with it.
He's 1-for-1 when it comes to division titles.
It's fair.
True.
And like managers are like
I know they don't do as
they're
much
kind
as
of
they
puppets.
usually are. Yeah.
It's almost like what am I thinking of? It's almost like they're basketball coaches now, where they kind of just have to be like one of the guys and manage personalities. Not to that extent, but
Yeah, and just talk to the media every day.
yeah, it's not as like X's and O's like football.
Yeah, he's not like Steve Nash.
It's true. So last but not least is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nathan's Pittsburgh Pirates.
We just
58 and a half wins. We can even say this short and sweet. So we
Under.
all have the under. Do you think the Pirates are going to be the worst team in the MLB this year?
Yep.
Yes, they're so bad. This team, like, I can't even, words can't even describe how bad they are. I'm at a loss for words.
You're just dealing off talent.
It's like they got to get rid of like a guy like Gregory Polanco, who was once a big prospect but just hasn't done it. Like they just got to do something. They traded everybody else, so I mean, woohoo! You get to watch Todd Frazier. My God, he won a Little League World Series once. That's fun. Yeah, under 50 and a half. They'll win like 40 games.
Is Ke'Bryan Hayes gonna make their opening day roster?
Yeah, he will.
He's pretty fun.
Yeah, he's the only
That-
reason to watch.
Yeah, that'll be the only highlight.
Yeah, they have a
Nathan, is
couple.
your dad just like crying?
He honestly doesn't even care. Like for backstory for people, like my dad grew up a Pirates fan. He's a Red Sox fan first, but he liked Willie Stargell growing up. So we kind of like loosely followed the Pirates as like kind of like if we had to pick a second favorite team, it would be the Pirates. Went to Pittsburgh a couple years ago. It was cool, but I mean he doesn't really care. It's like I always thought like I liked the Pirates, but then it's like once you see like the Red Sox just have like the best season of all time and like win it all, it's like how can I ever like I can't even like fake root for another team. Just can't.
So yeah, so the Cardinals have a division winner of plus 105. The Brewers are plus 300. The Reds are plus 330. The Cubs are plus 425, and the Pirates are a whopping plus 6,500, which is laughable. Dave, who do you got in the division?
So this is pretty tough for me. I want to say the Cardinals, but I think the Brewers might pull it out. So I think I'm going to lock in as the Brewers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Brewers.
The odds are way too good for the Brewers at plus 300,
Yeah.
and the Cardinals are way too short at plus 105. I think it's going to be more close than people think,
Yeah, I'd probably say Brewers or Cubs. I'll say Brewers, but I would also sprinkle a little bit on the Cubs. I just think plus 425. That division's up in the air. So
Yeah, I don't get why the Reds are plus 330. But
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
so the last division in the National League is the NL West, probably the funnest division because it's top loaded. So the Dodgers are a whopping 102 and a half wins. Davey,
I have the over.
is that good?
They're just too good, top to bottom. Too good.
yeah,
Yeah, same. I wanted to say under, but when you look at just look at their rotation, they're not like they're gonna win 100 games easily.
Even look at their farm system.
Yeah.
If someone gets injured, they can call up like someone that's equally talented.
It's sick how they let Kike Hernandez and who else like Jock Peterson walk, and it's just like they still have like Chris Taylor. They have Edwin Rios, who's a kid, Matt Beatty, who's solid. So they just replenish it. It's a sick joke what they do.
they could sign Trevor Bauer to be their like fourth starter.
Yeah.
Not right.
So the Padres, the up and coming Padres, probably were already here. Probably the most funnest team this year.
Funnest.
Yep, funnest team this year. And 94 and a half wins.
So I have the over. I'm a little scared about Fernando Tatis' hip injury. Hopefully he's not out too long. So we'll see.
Peter, what do you
Yeah, I have the over because the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Rockies, I think, are not that good. So they're just going to plummet the bad teams at the bottom.
Yeah, I got the over. Oh, do you have more?
No.
Oh, seem like a man of many words, opinions. But yeah, I got the over too. There's gonna be like nothing better than like that Sunday in the summer, like 4:30 when it's like Padres Dodgers. Just chill out and watch that. That's gonna be great. But yeah, you Darvish, Blake Snell, Lamette, solid lineup. I mean, like that Jake Cronenworth or profile. Like I'm looking at their depth chart. Like they might be coming off the bench, depending on
Yeah.
how they. That's crazy. So very
Who was
good.
the Japanese guy or Korean guy that they signed?
Oh yeah, he's not even on here.
Because
think it's-
that guy's pretty good as well.
Yeah, yeah. So they got plenty of depth. You get
Mhm.
them over easily.
All right, so the next team is the Giants at 75.5 wins. So I'll start, I guess, because I'm the only one that picks the under. I just think that they're up and coming. I think they're going to be a year too short because of the Dodgers and Padres being way too good. But they have some up and coming prospects that are going to be good. But I just think they're a year too short.
This was a tough one for me. I was looking at the bottom three teams in division: the Giants at 75.5, the D-backs at 74.5, and then the Rockies. But I was gonna pick one over because 75.5 and 74.5 is so close. I was gonna pick one over and one under between the Giants and D-backs, and I think the Giants are just a better team than D-backs, so that's why I put them as over. I don't know if they're fully healthy. I mean, Gosman had a good year. Cueto is pretty good when healthy, so. Let's see if Posey can stay healthy. Brandon Belt. I mean, Tommy Estelle is a hit machine. I'm not sure if Yaz is gonna have the same season, but I don't know. It seems like they're willing to buy at the deadline too if they're competitive. So I'll go with the over for them.
Yeah, I have the same reasons. And last year they were competitive up until like the last 2 weeks of the season. So I feel like they'll overachieve again to some degree.
Yeah, I just think that it's not their time yet.
Well, it's nobody's time in the division with the
Yeah,
Padres
yeah.
and Dodgers, but we're not asking for division winners. We're asking for over-unders.
Yeah, that's true. So the Diamondbacks are 74.5 wins, as Nathan alluded to, just one win short from the Giants.
I mean, I think we have a clean sweep here, and
Yep.
I feel good about it after the news that Zach Allen got hurt doing hidden
Mhm.
drills. So MLB, get out of your own way, get rid of the pitches hidden, universal DH time. This isn't a good team. Zach Allen's probably like the only bright spot. So now that he's down, they stink. So under.
Yep. Definitely agree.
Yep. I don't think there's much thought going into that.
Nope.
And then the Rockies are last with 63.5 wins.
Do
So
we
how
even
bad
need
do you
to say
think
it? Do we even
Yeah.
need to say it?
they're all under, obviously? How
I'm
bad
having-
do you think the Rockies are
I'm
going to be?
having second thoughts.
Really?
Convinced like
Why? Because of course or just in general?
63.5. That's low. I don't know. Like I just think of like CJ Crone mashing. Brendan Rodgers is I think he's the number 4th overall pick a couple years ago. Trevor Story. I mean, Hampson and Blackman is still good. I'll say under still, but it wouldn't shock me if they're just like not as bad as people think.
I think they're going to be horrible.
How much are the Pirates? 50.5.
Yeah. I think they'll definitely be better than the Pirates. Probably by at least 5 games too,
Yeah,
as the predictions say, but I just don't see them winning 64 games.
Listen, I can't root for a team that deals off Arenado and tells the
It's true.
Cardinals to get $50 million on top of that for like nothing.
yeah, they'll be 63-99. So.
Yeah. So the division winners for the NL West, the Dodgers are a whopping favorite of minus 250. The Padres are plus 200, and then the Giants are plus 4,000, and then Diamondbacks and Rockies are at 5,000 apiece.
Can I just say something real quick before we
Yeah.
give our
Yeah.
Go ahead.
why do the Diamondbacks and the Rockies have better odds to win the division in the same division with the Dodgers and the Padres than the Pirates do? In a pretty not star-studded NL Central. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? Like
Yeah, that's
No.
true, honestly, because the Padres or Dodgers are gonna win. Like,
shouldn't
there's
the
no.
Rockies be like plus 10,000?
Yeah,
Probably like plus a million.
and we'll get to the AL later, but they're not even they're in the middle of the worst teams, you know?
Yeah, maybe the
Mhm.
Pirates should be lower, even though they stink. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I got Dodgers win the division easy.
So
too.
if this was 2 days ago, I would have the Padres, but I have the Dodgers.
Yeah, just don't be stupid, you know? Just keep it
Yeah.
simple and
hmm
you know. It's kind of like the Patriots. Just don't bet against them until it actually happens. All right, since the National League is over, now we'll get to the probably the better side, which we actually know more about, the AL East and the American League. So we'll start off with the AL East. The Yankees are 95.5 wins.
I'll start first because I'm in the minority here. I have them going over. I just feel like they're going to win at least 96 games. I don't think they'll win the division, but little sneak peek. But yeah, I have them winning 96 games at least.
I thought I knew you.
Yeah, I know. Can't root for the bad guys. Come on.
God, they're going under. I mean, Corey Kluber apparently has been not looking good in spring training. They have a woman beat on their staff.
Multiple.
Well, multiple, yeah. Excuse me, multiple. Future. Well, they're gonna be getting a new guy. His name is Deshaun Watson. He'll be coming in soon to help on the ball. I mean, Gary Sanchez is a joke. I never want to hear how this guy's good ever again. This guy stinks.
I saw a tweet that said his MVP season starts now.
Yeah, he's like 1 for 20 in spring training. He stinks. Yeah. Aaron Judge will get hurt. Stan will get hurt. Par for the course. Yeah. Yankees under. Easy.
Yeah, I agree. Their pitching staff is going to be a complete mess, and their bullpen isn't looking good at all either. You trade away Ottavino for like nothing.
So bad.
And Justin Wilson's hurt, and Zach Britton's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the division's better, as we'll see. So under. Dave, want to change your prediction?
I still think they'll win 96.
Oh, we're shutting Dave out for the rest of the thing. All right. So the Blue Jays are 86.5 wins. So Nathan, you go first because you're in the minority on that.
Yeah, I'm in the minority. I go under, and I predicted this a couple days ago, and with the recent developments, I feel even better about it. Looks like what's his name?
Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates is heading for Tommy John. Robbie Ray is dinged up. George Springer is dinged up. Nice contract there. Thank you, Chaim Bloom, for not doing that.
True.
So, I think they'll. So what's the total? 86.5. I think they'll be like 83. I think they're just a year early. The pitching staff's not great. I mean, I like the Matt addition, but Roark's not great. I don't know if Vlad, he lost some weight, but he's still huge. Semyon was a good addition, but I just think they're like, it feels like they're a little. I feel like they're a year early, and I don't really get why they're a win greater, or their over under is a win greater than the Rays. I'll talk about the Rays in a little bit, but I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I guess their talent is too big to overcome. And 86.5 isn't that high, you know, especially when I have the Yankees going under, and especially when the Orioles are in that division. I don't think the Rays are as good as people think either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Debate you on that.
I mean, I kind of wrestled over who I would have over between the Blue Jays and Rays. I ended up going with the Blue Jays just because I feel like they got more talent, which is crazy to say, I think, but I feel like they're going to have a really good year offensively. I don't think they're going to go much further over 86, but I think they definitely will go over.
Yeah, let's move on to the Rays, because I think that Peter, permission to move on?
Yeah, I got it. So their win total is 85.5 wins.
All right. So this is a team that I know they lost Morton. I honestly can't remember who else they lost.
Snell.
They lost. Oh, geez. God. Forgot about him. Oh, my God. I thought it was just Morton. All right. We might need to take adjustment here, but I'll still say over. I think this is the same team that just went to the World Series. Like, without Snell, but Snell, Morton, but I don't care. They kind of just they develop guys out of nowhere. Like they're just literally a factory, and like their lineup doesn't look great. And I think Randy Arozarena is not going to be the Randy Arozarena that was killing everything in the playoffs. But I think they'll just patch it up and analytic you to death and find a way.
I agree
you can
too.
slept on.
Yeah, they got Chris Archer for nothing too. They literally fleeced the Pirates of getting all those prospects, and then Chris Archer just comes right back.
But is Chris Archer anything like he used to be?
I don't know. He's back on the Rays, so maybe.
Yeah. I have them going under, but I just don't think that they have enough talent to compete. I still think they'll be like right around 500, but I just feel like their time's come.
Yeah, Chris Archer's like the Jamie Collins of baseball, maybe.
Or just like the Aroldis Chapman.
Not a great comparison to Jamie Collins of anything.
Well, he went back to the Patriots and it was good.
Yeah.
You can always
Cut out
see
the
him in
weed
one
part or
place.
the like psychedelic whatever.
No, that was Chandler.
Oh, that was Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
All right, so
Anywho,
the next team are all our favorite team, Swax Kid, 80.5 wins, which is absolutely abysmal. You can
Yep.
all say we all have the over. Way too low.
Yep.
So Nathan, you could rant about the Red Sox.
I just got
Go
some
off.
takes. So obviously the biggest move of the offseason was probably, I'd say the biggest is Benintendi getting traded. Sad,
I would
but
agree.
disappointing. Tony Maserati just had a great podcast with Cora. And basically Cora said that Benintendi, after the 2018 World Series, it's either his agent told him or he thought that home run hitters get more money and that he decided to bulk up and he started swinging for the fences and just was hitting like 220 after that. And I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's tough because I kind of wanted to see what Benny could do this year, but it just seems like he's kind of, I don't know, I don't think he's the play that Cora wants. Cora likes like you said, he likes the Verdugos who can slap some doubles and not just the pure home run hitters, which is kind of where I'm wondering, like, isn't the guy they got for Benintendi, Franchi Cordero, kind of that home run hitter?
Yeah, but I hope he can play.
I
Yeah.
know. That's a part where I was like,
Has a hit tonight.
yeah, I mean, there's still pieces to come in that deal, but that's kind of, I was thinking, like, isn't Cordero kind of like the home run power hitter guy? But
Should have got Collie Lee. What are you doing?
True.
yeah, but I mean, this team, I think the pitching is better. I think the bullpen's going to be sneaky good. Garrett Whitlock is a name to watch. They got him in the Rule 5 draft, took him from the Yankees.
Thank you, Yanks.
Yep, coming off of some TJ. Ottavino and Barnes in the back end. I like that. Darwinson's going to come back here. The pitching, the starters actually with Erod, can come back from the COVID. So I think he's going to have a good season. I don't know, pitching, like, Sale's not going to be back till like August. I think they could have used another arm, even though they have Houck and Worcester. The way Richards is looked in spring training, even Evaldi hasn't looked great. I still like the rotation, but I think they could have got another arm. I'm not sure what you guys think about the rotation.
Maybe if they're contending to the division or the wild card, they'll get one for at the end.
Yeah, I guess they can always get another Cashner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that their three swingmen being Whitlock, Matt Andrees, and Winkowski, who they got in the Benintendi trade, could be very good this year. They've shown a lot in spring training so far. So I think that those were all good acquisitions. I think the pitching won't be as bad as people think it will be. Obviously, it won't be 2018 levels of good, but I still think they'll surprise a lot of people.
I think Andrees is like a quiet, great addition. He'll be
Yeah.
in the bullpen. He can make a start if you need him. He can go like 3 innings out of the bullpen. So I think he's a great addition. I got a question for you guys. If you had to pick for the Red Sox to be like maybe division winners, who do you think is the most important player this season?
Look behind you. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Rafael.
Okay. Devers.
I think it's Jumbo Dong. He needs to bounce back in a big way.
All right. right, that is segue into my take. I think JD is the most important player if they want to like truly have
Take
like
that next step.
win the division, because he was so abysmal last year. If they can get the JD of old, not even like the 40
Well, he's not
home
going to be
run
that
JD.
bad. He can't
I
be
know.
as bad as last year.
He has the video run back. I just think they need him to be like borderline all-star. If he can, because he's going to be batting third. So
Yeah.
they really need him to be good. I think he is so crucial to this team. And I mean, if he struggles, yeah, I don't think the team would take him, but they almost have to get rid of him, I think, just to recoup some assets. But over, I like this team. Bobby,
Mhm.
I mean, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be just so many. They might be annoying to watch because the top of the lineup's gonna like single you to death with Kike, Verdugo, Bogey, and then the bottom of the lineup with Dahlbeck.
The bottom of the
Dahlbeck,
lineup might hit 120 combined home runs.
yeah, Dahlbeck, Renfro, and Franchi.
Franchi.
It's just they're gonna hit a million. They're gonna be frustrated. They're gonna hit a million homers and
Mhm.
strike out a bunch. So
It's all right. It's the MLB of new.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, any other things on the Red Sox? I mean, I'm excited for Nick Pivetta. Full season of him will be good.
It'll be very interesting of what they do with Michael Chavis and Christian Arroyo. The smart move is to keep Arroyo and option Chavis, but that's a very tough decision for the team to make. Even though I'm on the books of not being a Chavis fan, definitely a tough decision.
He's kind of forced their hand this spring. He's hitting like, I think he's almost like at least 5 homers. But,
Yeah. I think he's
I mean,
tied with Dahlbeck.
Yeah.
Speaking of homers, Hunter Renfro.
Nice.
It went out.
Yeah. Did he just hit another one?
Yeah, he did.
Jeez. He's a better outfielder defensively than I thought.
He's very good defensively.
Yeah, like he moves pretty well. I thought he was just kind of like lumbering like JD, but he moves pretty well. And I think the second Verdugo, if he does get hurt, I think Duran is going to get the call up. Because I think like Kike is decent, but I think they want like a true center fielder type. And I think Duran, like Verdugo, will kind of cover that up.
So last but not least,
Sox.
Sox kid.
In closing Sox. That's it. And tweet.
So the last team, the Baltimore Orioles, they're 64.5 wins. We all have the under. So how bad do you think the Orioles are actually going to do? Are they going to be
They won't be
as bad
as
as
the
last
Pirates.
year and the year before? Or because they can't rebuild forever, right?
No, but they won't be as bad as the Pirates, but they won't be very good.
They do have more like representable, like at least like MLB players in their lineup. Like Mancini's back, Yolmer Sanchez, former White Sox, Franco, Freddie Galvis, Santander kills the Red Sox, and then Mountcastle. But I think it's just their pitching. Like, my God, imagine if Felix Hernandez and Matt Harvey are in that rotation. Oh my God!
Imagine if it was 2013 versions of them. Then they'd be dangerous.
They'd be unstoppable.
Yeah. So I think it's just they're in the division with. I mean, they're in the division with 4 good teams. So at least I think so. I think they're just kind of a product of that. I think under.
Yeah. So the division winners. So the Yankees have an odds of -200. The Blue Jays have +350. The Rays also have +350. The Red Sox have +2,000. And the Orioles have +5,200. 200 more than the Rockies and Diamondbacks. But
it's crazy.
So, Dave, who do you like in that division?
Call me a homer, but I have the Sox.
Same guy who thinks the Yankees are going over, by the way.
Yeah.
I got the Rays. I think 350 is good value. So I got the Rays.
Don't kill me, but I have the Yankees. I just think they're too star-studded at the top. And if the Blue Jays are going to be injured, and the Red Sox obviously are going to do better than 8.5 wins, but I don't think they're going to catch them,
I'm the only Red Sox fan in this podcast.
Yeah,
So who gets more heat? Me for picking the Yankees over, or Peter for picking the Yankees to win the division?
Dave, I think you're saved. I think Peter deserves it.
Awesome.
All right, well,
thank you,
it's
Pete.
fine because, I apparently like the New York Giants.
You
Peter,
do.
Please hand over your Red Sox. Stripped of your fandom.
Now we'll
So
go
we're
to
in
the
Red Sox.
yeah,
You're in Tessie's doghouse, mister.
I guess. All right, now we'll go to the AL Central. So the White Sox have a win total of 91.5, and we all have the over. I think
Mhm.
I think that's going to be an up and coming, fun young team, and Tim Anderson's a goat.
When I think of fun, I think of Tony La Russa. So
Yeah,
Oh, well,
true.
we don't talk about
I
that.
mean,
yeah, a little too much fun
Too much
behind the
fun.
wheel. Let's say.
their pitching staff is so good.
Yeah, that Lance Lynn edition. I mean, when you get him to be I'll never forget Lance Lynn falling off the mound against the Red Sox.
Yeah.
The 16-1 game, it was just falling off the mound with a
Yeah.
swab. But
Good times.
to his credit, he's turning it around. So that's a good team. I think they have that Andrew Vaughn kid. Yeah, he's gonna be. Looks like he's gonna be
Nick
Very good.
Madrigal as well.
there between Madrigal, Vaughn, Robert, and
Red Sox owns Moncada.
Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those are like legit young guys.
Yeah.
So and then they spent a lot on Hendricks to close. This is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Credit
Very
to,
good.
yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Tony, imagine if they got AJ Hinch, like how much better they would have been.
Imagine if they got Alex Cora.
I know that podcast. Who was it? Oh man. Oh, it was Cora on Section 10. He was
Yeah.
basically saying that I still think if it was a bidding war, if the White Sox want him and were willing to pay more money, like I think he would have been the manager of the White Sox.
I agree.
And I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like,
Kind of
it's
feels
stupid
like
not to, you know? Like, why would you pick somebody who has been out of the league for a while?
AJ Hinch. I mean, even like Sam Folder.
I mean, even if they just kept their coach from last year, it would have
Yeah.
been better off with Tony La Russa, but I still think they're going to be very good.
It does feel like the manager could be the one thing that kills them, if anything. Just
Yeah.
pathetic. But
Next, we
Whatever.
have the Minnesota Twin. Oh, wait, sorry.
No.
Are you done? All right.
by all
So
means.
next, we have the Minnesota Twins at 88.5 wins. We all have the under. I just think that's way too high for somebody that
Mhm.
lost way too much talent this year. Well, this offseason.
Yep.
Yeah, does Michael Pineda, J Happ, and Matt Shoemaker do a few as your 3 through 5 starters? Not me. So I got the under. I like their bullpen's kind of intriguing. I think Colme and Taylor Rogers is decent, but I just like is Donaldson gonna stay healthy? Is Buxton gonna stay healthy? I mean Simmons is good, I guess. Is Sano gonna stay healthy? I mean, it's too many question marks. I do like the Twins, but I think they'll win like 87, 86 games. What 80, not 89.
Yeah. I can see them being close to this, but definitely not over 88.5.
So next, we have the Cleveland Indians at 81.5.
Cleveland, who?
Oh, yeah.
The I
When
word.
when is that end of next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how it's so offensive that they can keep it for another year.
hmm
Well, and like March Madness is going on right now. Florida State is called the Seminoles. Like, how is that allowed?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's allowed because, like, it's not, like, derogatory, I guess.
You know what's offensive is the Braves. Bravery is
True.
that is toeing the line.
True.
Oh, damn.
The chop.
So yeah, I have the over. I almost picked the under because of the Carrasco injury, but I just think
Who?
they
Wait,
have.
what? They don't have Carrasco.
What?
Yeah, he's on the Mets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Lindor deal.
Ooh. All right. Well, I just think they have a good pitching staff, and 81.5 wins is a little low, especially for a Francona coach team.
hmm Yeah, I also have the over. I just think they're even losing Lindor and Carrasco. I still think they're good enough, too good of a team to go 500.
I got the under. Losing Lindor is huge. Like they really, and we'll see it later, but they really need a big season from Jose Ramirez. And I mean, I like the Rosario pickup, Franmil or Mash. I mean, they still have Plesac and Bieber, who's obviously Cy Young and nasty. But I look at that, like their first baseman, Jake Bowers. His backup Bobby Bradley.
Bobby Bradley could be very good as a rookie.
Ugh. I don't know. This team doesn't do it for me. It was really close because I do like respect Francona and he usually
Mhm.
coaches up his teams, but I think it's gonna be just. I think they're like a 500 team, so I'd say under.
So the next team is the Kansas City Royals at 73.5 wins. Dave, you
I'll
can go
start
first.
this one.
No.
Yeah, I have the under. I'd assume you guys picked the over in part because of Benintendi, thinking he's going to bounce back. But I truly don't see it. I don't think this team has much talent. Yeah, I have the under.
Peter, I mean, you can go ahead if you want.
I mean, yeah, that's all my thing was. I think they just got Benintendi, and I think Benintendi is going to prove the doubters wrong. You see that like he changes like swing, so he's not like a power hitter, which he shouldn't have been last year anyway. But I just think the Royals are gonna do well than other people think. You know,
I think this team's actually pretty talented. I don't know that Keller was good last year. Singer is a top pick. I mean, Nicky Lopez, I'm not sure if he's great, but I mean, they've made some nice additions with Santana. They just kind of overpaid for Sal Perez an extension. Hunter Dozier, Mondesi, Merrifield's always good. Solares, Mashes. I don't know. I kind of like this team. They're going to be, I think they'll go over the 73.5. They won't be competing for the division, but they might be one of those fun teams to catch during the season. And I don't think Benintendi's going to have a great year.
oh really?
Nah.
Why? How bad? Do you think he's gonna do bad?
I think he'll hit like 260, which is good for him, I guess. But
So, and then the last team is the sorry Detroit Tigers at 68.5 wins. So we all have the under. I think that's a way too high of a number.
Yeah, I agree.
Old deteriorating people. And they might be the worst team in the AL, I think.
no.
No?
There's a team in the next division that I think is absolutely wretched.
Yeah.
Team from Texas, but
yeah, we don't have to do a lot of time on this. Sorry, Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
So the AL Central Division odds are minus 130 for the White Sox, plus 150 for the Twins, plus 700 for the Cleveland No Names, and plus 4,000 for the Royals, and plus 6,000 for the Tigers.
Cleveland Franconas.
Yeah, true.
Peter, I have a quick question. Do you think Miguel Cabrera is going to have a good fantasy year?
No, but as you know, I'll pick him tomorrow. Don't you worry.
I bet.
I'll pick
For
him
$1.
tomorrow.
There you go. I got the White Sox.
I have the White Sox.
Yep.
That seems like, I mean, even though it's minus, that seems pretty low. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
free money.
I think they should be like minus 180 at least.
Yeah.
Sox.
I almost picked the Indians at plus 700, but I just couldn't do it.
Wow.
Peter again. The I word.
Oops. All right, we'll get rid of that. So the last division, the AL West, the Houston Astros, the Cheaters at 87.5 wins. So we all have the over. I just picked the over because they have way too much talent on that team.
Yeah.
Even though Joseph Verlander isn't going to come back to what, like July?
I think he's out for the whole year.
Yeah, I think
really?
so too.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, they still have Greinke. They still have Altuve. They still
a
have
very good team.
Yeah.
Who was the pitcher that just got hurt? Was it? Oh, jeez. Oh, Valdez.
I know McCullers just signed an extension today.
Yeah, Valdez got hurt, which stinks. But they essentially replaced him with Odorizzi.
Yeah.
It feels like they're missing a bench bat. If I had to pick a weakness, but Correa had a good ALCS showing. He's in a contract year. Yeah, this is a good team still. I think Kyle Tucker's going to break out now. It's Springer gone. Over.
Yep.
So next we have the Oakland A's at 86.5 wins. I just think they lost. So I have the under. I think they just lost too much talent. Although I like the Chris Davis deal for Elvis Andrews though.
Yeah, I mean I'm over. I think Bob Melvin's kind of in that Francona category where he kind of gets the best out of his teams. They did lose a good amount, but it's just they're gonna be playing the Rangers and the Mariners like 40 times. Their rotation's sneaky good with Montas and Luzardo and Manaya. I like the Rosenthal sign. That was a kind of a weird sign. I think they gave him like, what was it, 1 year, like 14 mil or something, kind of crazy.
Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, if they have Matt Olson, Chapman, and Laureano, Scotty, they got Mitch Moore. I forgot about that. Jeez. But yeah, I think they kind of just scrap their way. I think to be competitive in the AL West.
Yeah. By the same token that the Mets will be the Mets, the A's will be the A's and find their way into a wild card game.
It's true. So next we have the LA Angels of Anaheim. I hate how they say that.
So
But
bad.
83.5 wins. So Nathan, you can go first. Since
I am the odd man out. I have the under. It's every year feels like the Angels are gonna be good. You know, it never happens until they get a legitimate pitcher. And I think that like they should have got Bauer or so. They need somebody in that level.
Or kept Gosman.
Yeah, I mean,
why you don't like Otani?
no, I don't. He's gonna get hurt. Jose Quintana, fine. Alex Corn on the Cob, fine. But none of them like studs. That bullpen like Raisel Iglesias is not. I mean, he's so bland. Like I just Raisel Iglesias is known for being like a top projected fantasy closer every year, and he just always has a 4 ERA. So, I mean, unless Mike Trout, but he's always put the team in his back and it's done nothing. Like Jose Iglesias can't hit. David Fletcher is good, fine. Pujols is 800 years old. Rendon's
His
good,
last
sure.
year.
Yeah, I mean Fowler. This team under.
I don't know. I just like the talent on that team, and 83.5 wins is well. You have Mike Trout. You have
They have
Otani.
had him every year for the last 10 years.
You have
They've done-
Rendon.
You got Showtime. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
I don't know. I think it's too low.
I think 83.5 is more than you think.
I think they're
84
going to
wins.
barely scrape 83.5. Like, I think they're going to get 84, 85, but I still think they're going to get over.
84 wins is a lot. Like
It is.
they're projecting more wins than the Red Sox, but that like 2 wins more.
Sure.
True.
I don't think they have. I think the Red Sox have a way better roster. And hey, I mean the Angels might have a higher total because they're in a worse division, but I don't know.
So second to last is the Seattle Mariners at 72.5 wins. I just picked the over because in April or May they're gonna reach like 40 wins. And they always do though. They always start wicked hot and then they
Nah.
always crumble.
This was close for me. I was very close. I ultimately went with the under just based on the lineup alone, but I think their pitching is gonna be kind of good. Marco Gonzalez is always very solid. Paxton, see if he can kind of. I mean, as he's back with the Mariners, it didn't work out with the Yankees. See if he can get his groove back. I didn't want to say this guy's name. The guy from Japan's good. And then Sheffield, the guy they literally got for Paxton. They're both in
Mhm.
rotation. It's kind of like when the Pats, like when Van Noy and their 4th round pick are going to be the same team together.
It's true.
I just don't see what the offense.
Yeah, I was close on them too. Ultimately, I went with under. I just think they're a year away. Same thing with Mariners.
Yeah,
I
it'll
mean,
be
the
interesting.
Marlins, sorry.
It'll be interesting to see if they call up Kalenic and if Mitch
Yeah.
Haniger is healthy again.
Mechanic is good.
Didn't he tear his ACL maybe?
I thought it was like an
Something
Achilles.
like that. I don't know.
Hey, I saw a tweet like a couple days ago. They've been not playing him like if the grass is bad.
Mhm.
It's like which is not a good sign. But
Yeah,
talk about just
especially for the Mariners where they're like always rainy up there. Granted, they do have a roof, but still.
seems like a very bleh team to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last but not least, the Texas Rangers at 66.5 wins. We all have the under, but why do you think that the Rangers are going to be second to last? I mean, fully last.
Team is so bad.
They're worse than the Orioles, huh?
It's shockingly bad. I think they might be.
I'm not sure if they're
Like,
the worst or like I don't know where of the bottom 3 they'll fall, but they'll definitely be in the bottom three. I don't see them
Can any
winning
of
many
you-
games.
Can any of you name their number one starter?
Nope.
Can't say I can.
All right, I'm looking at depth chart. It has as Kyle Gibson.
Okay,
Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, it might as well be. So
Kurt
I
Rambis.
don't know. I say under. I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah.
Nope.
So the division winner, Astros at plus 125, the A's at plus 145, the Angels at plus 375, the Mariners at plus 2600, and the Rangers at plus 6000. So I have the Astros at plus 125.
That
Yeah,
me?
probably have to agree with that. I think the A's could pull it out. I don't think they will. I want the Athletics to pull it out, but I think it would be the Astros.
Yeah. So now we can get in the AL winner. So I have the Astros at plus 1000 just because of their talent. I didn't want to pick the White Sox because, spoiler, both of you picked them because that's no fun.
Yeah, I was between the White Sox and the Astros. I ultimately went the White Sox because I went with the safer pick here because I have a little bit of a reach in the next for the NL winner. So I went White Sox at plus 380.
Yeah, I went White Sox. They're just such a good team.
Glad nobody picked the Yankees.
Yeah, it would have been you that did that. So
But they'll be the ALCS finalists, maybe.
True. Put a banner.
I know.
So the NL winner, I have the Dodgers at plus 175. I just think, listen, don't overthink it. You know it's going to be the Dodgers. And unless they all become like injured or something, like prove it to me that they won't be there.
good point. I have the Padres plus 390. I like them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I went. I'm like willing this into existence, but I went with the Nationals at plus 2000. I almost more picked it for the odds kind of than like what my brain says, but I want the Nationals. So, and I think they're legitimately like they're gonna be a sleeper. So I went with the Nationals plus 2000.
And then the World Series winner, I have the Dodgers at plus 350. Again, listen, you know they'll be there and prove it to me that they can't lose in a 7-game series first with all that depth and all that talent.
Well, do I need to show you 2018 again?
All right, yeah,
Or 2017?
it's fair.
Touche.
But it's 2021.
Yeah, that's true.
So Dave, who do you got as the World Series winner if it's not the
I
Dodgers?
have the Chicago White Sox. I think they're a very complete team. I think they barely edge out the Padres in that department. Yeah, White Sox.
Nice. I got the Nationals. I don't know why. Plus 3,300.
It's good odds.
Yeah, I can see just another. They're just flying under the radar the whole season, getting the playoffs, make some noise. Maybe the Padres will knock off the Dodgers, and they get to beat the Padres, something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the White Sox are plus 850 for the World Series.
Like that.
So now the AL MVP. So Dave, you can go first since me and
All right.
you have the same person.
I have good old wagon ass Vladdy Jr. I just feel like he might have a very good season.
He's gonna have
And
to
at
now.
plus,
Yes.
yeah, plus 2,500. I love those odds.
This is weight, but
It's true.
Peter, who do we got?
Oh, yeah. So we have Jose Ramirez. I don't know about you, but I think they're going to contend for a wild card spot. And I think he's going to have to put up some big numbers to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled the last couple years, but last year he kind of got back to form. So if he's going to have to carry that team if they're even decent. So with the odds, especially at plus 1,200, I mean, if it's going to be like, if the MVP award is going to be like the value to your team award more than like the best season award, kind of like Abreu was last year, I guess. I mean, I think Joe Ram's a great pick.
Yeah. So the National League MVP. So I have Machado at plus 2,200. I know Machado sucks, but all the national attention is going to be on the Padres, and I think the Padres are going to do real well. So, and somebody's going to have to pick the Padres for like MVP if they're going to be overhyped, and I think they're going to win like 100 games. So,
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I have Ronald Acuna, my favorite player, plus 850. I think he's going to have a very good bounce back season.
Yeah, I picked Juan Soto at plus 750. Like I said, kind of not in quietly, but one of the best players in the league. That's kind of going along with my Nationals predictions. If they're going to win it all, he kind of has to be an MVP. So there we
I
go.
was very close to also picking Soto. Just want to put that out there.
I like both those guys, not Peters, but
Thanks. So you can get mad at me at this, the AL Cy Young. So I have Garrett Cole at plus 350.
Ooh.
No, I just think the Yankees rotation isn't that good, and he's gonna have to carry him
Yeah.
throughout the whole year. And I don't like the talent on the AL side as it is anyway.
yeah, Peters got his pinstripe panties on.
Yeah, it's true.
I have Lucas Giolito. I think he could have won it last year, but granted, Shane Bieber had a fantastic season and he deserved it. But I think this year's Lucas Giolito's year.
Yeah, that guy Giolito's a bad dude. But
Yeah, plus 450, by the way.
I went with a long shot here. I went with Zach Greinke at plus 3,300. His stats I don't think they're actually Cy Young worthy anymore, but I'm just hoping he carries that rotation. I feel like it's kind of a little sneaky, good odds for the number one starter of that rotation.
Nationally get a Cy Young. I'm surprised you didn't pick him, Nathan, since you're so high in the Nationals. So I picked Max Scherzer at plus 950. I think they're going to contend for a wild card spot, and the Nationals are going to be way better than people think.
I picked Yu Darvish. He was phenomenal last year. I think he carries that into San Diego. A little bit warmer weather isn't great for pitchers, but it can help with the spin rate sometimes and stuff like that. So I think Yu Darvish.
Yeah, I went with the chalk pick, DeGrom. He's just so nasty every year. I went the chalk for this one.
The AL Manager of the Year. So we all have Alex Cora plus 1,200. There's no way the Red Sox are going to be as bad as people think. You're going to surprise some people.
Yeah, these managers in the AL kind of suck.
Mhm.
I didn't want to pick Cora. I think if I had to pick somebody else, I'd probably pick Bob Melvin at plus 950. But I'll go with the homer pick here just because I don't really love anybody else. So.
Yeah, I wanted to pick La Russa just for the White Sox, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't win.
I was very close to doing that, but I couldn't bring myself to doing that.
And then the National League Manager of the Year, I have Mike Schmidt from the Cardinals at plus 600. I think they're going to surprise some people, win that division, and be better than, I think, 86.5 wins. And I don't want to pick Dave Roberts. Sorry, Nathan. It's just too obvious.
Yeah. I was between, what's his name of the Padres?
Tingler.
Yeah, Jace Tingler. I ended up going with Brian Snitker of the Braves. I just feel like the Braves are going to be way better than they were last year. So.
Yeah, I went with the chalk. Well, not even actually Tingler is the favorite, but I went with Roberts. I think they're just gonna be so like if they win 110 games, it's like how can you? Did Cora win when the Red Sox won?
No, well, Kevin Cash did, right?
Oh yeah, Cash won.
Oh my! When they won 100.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't win.
Oh
Somebody else did.
Yeah.
Oh my God! See, I think it's gonna be. I think that'll happen to Roberts this time though, but he'll win. I think they're just gonna win like 150 games and be like, oh, because usually the manager of the year sometimes like, oh, who's the sneaky team, like the bad team that whose manager brought them to the playoffs, but.
2018 was Bob Melvin, by the way.
Oh, all right. They made it to the wild card, but I think Roberts' team will be so good that they can't ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
So, any final thoughts on the MLB season as a whole? Just excited to get it going.
Oh,
Very much so.
Full 162. I'm glad it's back.
Me too.
That'll be exciting. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Peter.
We'll have to do a checkup at some point in the season to see how things are going.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
the
All-Star
All-Star
break.
Yeah.
Jinx.
So, Sox kid, right?
Sox.
Sox.